Hello and welcome to the show, coming to you from London. Historic cooperation in sports has managed to deal a blow to the lingering and bitter rivalry between India and Pakistan. Armed with nothing more than tennis rackets, two top-level competitors have been waging a new offensive for peace. India's Rohan Bopanna and Pakistan's Aisam-ul-Haq Qureshi hit global headlines after they signed up as a doubles team in the ATP tennis circuit. It was the first time in history that an Indian and Pakistani have played professional sports on the same side. Well, at the final of this year's US Open double, there was a sight once believed unthinkable. Indian and Pakistani fans waving their national flags and cheering for the Indo-Pak Express. Well, while Bopanna and Qureshi lost the final, observers say the duo had won, quote, game, set and match when it comes to charting a new course for dialogue in the subcontinent. So today we ask, how far can sports go in bridging bitter political divisions between nations, and what is the secret to such successful cooperation? You can send us your questions and comments through email or text. Well, joining me in the studio now is the Indo-Pak Express. We have both Rohan Bopanna from India, who provides the heavy artillery for his team with his blistering serves, and his partner, Aisam-ul-Haq Qureshi of Pakistan, known for setting up points with his serve and volley game. Good to have you both on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Well done, and congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much.
Now, Rohan, let me start and ask you how the whole idea of the Indo-Pak Express came up.
I mean, it was just, I think I've known Assam for the past 14 years now, and 2003 was the first time we decided to play together. It was a tournament here in England that, you know, we didn't have doubles partners and we were both playing the same tournaments on grass. And we decided that, you know, we'd team up and try a shot at doubles and see how we do. And that's basically how we started playing for the first time.
Now, you were named a champion for peace by Peace and Sport, a neutral international organisation. This was in this year, actually. It's an organisation under the patronage of Prince Albert II of Monaco. And you've been very active as a humanitarian, actually. And I know, for example, you raised money for handicapped children, and you have the Stop War, Start Tennis campaign. What made you so active in these areas?
I mean, it's always great to, I think, you know, come out and help whatever way you can, you know, wherever. I mean, as for that opportunity school, from a place where I came back from Coorg, where I was brought up, and you know, my parents still live there, so I thought it was always great to help some children, and whichever way I could. And obviously this Stop War, Start Tennis logo was decided by Assam's coach, Robert Davis, who came up with that slogan, and you know, thought once we became peace ambassadors for both of us became peace ambassadors, we decided to, you know, wear those jackets at Wimbledon and see how it goes.
And that's true, Aisam, before even being named a champion for peace as well, you're also running your family's Haq Foundation, which is also very much a humanitarian effort as well. So that seems to have run in your family too.
Oh, obviously, I think I would definitely have to say we're very blessed in a way that we can afford and have a good livelihood. I think it's only right and fair as a Muslim also to help out the others if you can. And you know, being champions of peace really helps us to send a good positive message about peace through sports. And obviously tennis comes first, but if you look at the bigger picture, you know, it's really good to be part of this team as well, and try to help as many people as possible in Pakistan and India.
I know one of your goals, Aisam, is to play on the very significant Waga border between India and Pakistan and do an exhibition match there. You've contacted the governments, but no response yet, I gather.
So far, no. But I think it depends a lot on how we keep on progressing also as a team. At the US Open, the ambassadors to the UN from Pakistan and India both came to our semi-finals and finals matches, which definitely was a positive sign. You normally don't see two diplomats cheering for the same cause very often. So it was a great thing, and I think now myself and Rohan as well, we are making our mark as tennis players and as humanitarians as well in our countries respectively, and I think that's going to affect a lot, I think, to have that border match, inshallah, soon. Probably this year or maybe early next year.
Interesting choice, Rohan, because of course that is such a place where, I mean, every day there's this display, it's almost a show of military aggression to show there's still rivalry or bitter sort of rivalry between the two countries. And you actually want to play it so that you're on the Pakistani side and you're on the Indian side.
Yeah, that was his idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, so as Assam said, till the government approves anything we have, gives us the green light, nothing can be done. So we just, you know, waiting for them to, you know, hear from them. And as Sam said again, if we do keep continuing to do well and playing together for a longer period of time, it might just be possible.
Puts more pressure on them, actually, on both governments, doesn't
Well,
it? Let me get an email to you, actually, Aisam, first. This came from a viewer in Pakistan, and it's from Muhammad Khalid, who wrote in saying, until India and Pakistan resolve the Kashmir issue and the water dispute, relations between the two countries cannot get better, despite efforts by artists and sports persons. Do you think that issues, overwhelming issues such as Kashmir, might really spoil your efforts?
I don't think so. I think obviously there are political barriers on both sides. We as sports personalities obviously can play our part and trying to play our part as much as we can. The main reason, I think the message we're trying to spread as basically is, if me as a Pakistani and Rohan being an Indian can get along well on and off the court, there's no reason why the Pakistanis and Indians cannot get along well. And you see that side on every single match of ours. You see Pakistanis and Indians sitting together with Indians and Pakistani flags, cheering for the same team. And obviously, I think there's so many Indians come to me and ask for autographs and take pictures. I was telling him this year, I was playing Davis Cup match in Hong Kong, and there were actually a few Indians who just came to watch Pakistan play against Hong Kong. And after the match, they said, you know, you're playing against Rohan, with Rohan, and we really enjoy that relationship, and we're just here to support you because you're Indian's partner. And I never ever thought that Indians would come to watch Pakistan play against Hong Kong. So it was a great feeling, and it feels like that we are changing few people's minds, and that's a really positive thing.
Well, Rohan, an email, if you could answer this one, it came from Fatima Shah in Pakistan. It says, it is heartening to see the two play together and deliver their message of goodwill, but to say that they can bring about peace between the two countries is unrealistic. How do you keep up the faith and know that you can make a difference?
I mean, we are just, as I said, tennis is definitely our first priority. It's, you know, we're just trying here to, you know, help each other's careers in our respective sports. So that's what we're trying to do. And after that, if we can, you know, whatever try and do, as Sam said again, few people's minds, even 2-3% people's minds, if we can change and say, you know, if we can get along and you know, get some positive message across them, we'll take that as a positive message for sure.
There must have been a point though, Rohan, where you got a sense that actually, you know, yes, it is the tennis, we're playing tennis, but it's become a bigger thing in some ways.
Yes, I mean, especially this year after we both became champions of peace and everything, and obviously we see there's a bigger picture and that we can help tennis grow in our countries. And you know, if whatever way, if sometimes that I say, you know, if I have to go to Pakistan and help promote tennis there as well, that's a great thing. So the first thing, positive message, just to promote tennis in whichever way. We're just trying to promote peace through sports, nothing apart from that.
Now, of course, Aisam, there has been a huge global buzz, though, media buzz about what you guys are doing, especially this Indian and Pakistani playing together. I wonder, has all the buzz been good?
No, it's been unbelievable. I think I keep telling Rohan he's by far the most popular Indian in Pakistan right now. I think more than the Indian actors.
Shah Rukh's going to be worried.
And it's been a great response. I think everybody really cherished our partnership, and they would all understand that Rohan is actually helping me out and getting laurels for my country. And he's by far my best friend on the tour. And to achieve all these goals and making US Open finals and Wimbledon quarterfinals with the best friend on the tour is like icing on the cake. And I think everybody understands that he's only trying to help me get laurels for my country to promote this game in Pakistan. And you know, it's been great. I haven't heard any negative comments from anybody in Pakistan. It's been really great.
Rohan, an email I'm going to put to you from Saman Uroj Zishan in Pakistan, who says, peace between India and Pakistan is sabotaged by the deep-rooted anti-Indian Pakistan feelings on both sides, as well as the politics involved. Now, you know, we're saying obviously there's the political side, there's you guys taking a different approach. Do you guys ever talk about issues between the two countries? Does it ever come up? Do you ever disagree on any stuff?
No, we don't. I mean, I don't think we've, till today, there hasn't been a thing that we have spoken about anything, because we're not here to you know, do something about the political thing. We don't know anything about it, and there's, you know, a lot more, I think, qualified people sitting there, and you know, definitely know what we're just doing our part of it by playing tennis and trying to get laurels for our country.
Presumably you had the same kind of experience that Aisam has had with Pakistanis coming to you and feeling the same thing. That
I mean, yes, especially at US Open this year, we had a lot of support. I mean, it was a lot of Pakistanis coming as well, taking pictures and autographs, everything. They were really happy, and it was great for us also to see them, be there, part of one team and supporting us together, and also the UN ambassadors of India and Pakistan sitting there together and watching us play. It was definitely, I think, a great moment for us.
And I gather the fans wear the Indian flag on one cheek and the Pakistani flag on the other.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there were a few fans who were doing that as well.
Well, we're going to take a very short break here. I have more questions for you in a moment. Sure. When we come back, pushing for peace. How likely is it that the stars of the Indo-Pak Express will eventually use their goodwill to enter the political arena? We'll be right back. Welcome back. Their countries went to war 3 times, but 2 tennis players from Pakistan and India are doing the exact opposite. They've teamed up professionally and have started a movement called Stop War, Start Tennis, aimed at promoting dialogue through sports in the subcontinent. I have with me Rohan Bopanna from India, who has also represented his country in the Davis Cup competition, and with him his doubles partner Aisam-ul-Haq Qureshi, Pakistan's top-ranked tennis player. Now, actually, Aisam, your mother was actually Pakistan's #1 champion, woman champion as well at one time.
Mother Nosheen Atisham was Pakistan #1 for 10 years. My maternal grandfather, Khwaja Iftikhar Ahmad, was all India #1 before partition. So tennis was, in a way, was always in my family and my blood. And yeah, it's just really, I feel really proud actually that I've been able to follow my grandfather's footsteps and my mother's footsteps. And
ironic twist in the fact that your grandfather was representing India.
Yeah, in the beginning before partition, yeah, definitely.
Right. Yeah. Now, just a quick question, a thought on the success of your mother. Of course, Pakistan being a Muslim country, a lot of people, especially in the West, have an impression that, well, do women even get to play tennis? Yeah. And of course, a lot of misperceptions about the country. So let's set some of those straight. Are you able to, by the way, through her success and obviously with your visibility now, are you able to promote tennis for women, to get women much more active in sports as well?
First of all, it's always been my dream and goal ever since I started playing tennis professionally to promote this game in Pakistan for women and for men as well. And in Pakistan, cricket has always been the main sport and still is. But I think after the Wimbledon experience and the US Open achievement, I felt that tennis is by far, I think, the most popular sport for the past 3-4 months. And I do give a lot of credit to Rohan also for helping me out in their cause. And I think I see a lot of kids now, girls and boys, picking up tennis and taking more interest. And after US Open, when I went to Pakistan, there were a lot of families who actually came up to me and they said they want their kids to start tennis as well. I get a lot of messages on Facebook as well from parents that they want their daughters to start tennis. So I think trend is changing a little bit, and I just hope that the Indo-Pak Express keeps on rolling the way it's been this year, and it's definitely going to encourage more parents and kids to start tennis in Pakistan.
I guess it makes a difference also. It's not just that you guys are playing together and you're good, but you're actually like 8th rank doubles pair in the world now, isn't it?
Yes, we are ranked 8, and I think it's just that the belief we have in each other, I think, is what has got us so far to actually be ranked in the top 8 teams of the world. What's
the dynamic between you two? I introduced you saying that you had the blistering serves and you did the setups and volleys, but how do you, in terms of playing, how do you coordinate and work so well together?
I mean, if you, it's just I think this 2010 was the first year we actually concentrated so much on doubles, and I think working together as a team, and I would say Assam with his, serves and volleys, as you had mentioned earlier, his volleys are the main weapons for him. So I try and set it up from the back of the court, and so that he can, finish those balls at the net.
Now, Aisam was saying that he wants to, he's wanted his dream to promote tennis in Pakistan. India has had quite a good history. Vijay Amritraj, who I know actually, and we had Leander Pace and Mahesh Bhupatti as well. And I gather Mahesh's father was doing some coaching with you too.
That's right. I mean, when I went to Bangalore in 2000, I trained with him for almost 4 years under him, and he had great experience. He had, obviously coached Mahesh and taken him to the highest level possible. So there was no better person in India at that point in time for me to go and get all his experiences. Yeah, help myself out, and he did a great job with me, and I think I owe a lot to him for me being here.
And Aisam, have you noticed the game, the dynamic between you evolve a lot in the years? Because you've known each other a long time.
No, definitely. I think game is changing by far. It's become a very physical sport now. For the past 3-4 years, I think the court surface has become very, very slow. And actually, that was one of the reasons also that I thought of switching to doubles more and focusing on doubles more, because I grew up on grass courts. And always been my style has been serve and volley, which is definitely fading away from ATP tennis because of surfaces being so slow. But that kind of style is very, very effective still in doubles. And knowing Rohan for the last 12, 14 years, knowing that he has such a big game and powerful game, relies so much on his serve and forehand and backhand, I just knew if we team up together, there is no reason why can't we be in top 10 or probably the top team in the world. And in such a short span, especially this year, we actually have proven that we actually belong in the top 10 and right there with the best. And I don't see any reason why we can't be number one team as well.
Let me ask you one thing, though. It's interesting you mentioned about, you're taking some pride also being a Muslim who can show that, you can compete at a world level too. Has being a Muslim ever been an issue?
It's tough because for past 10 years, I think things have changed all over the world.
Post 9/11.
And getting the visas, going to different countries, it's not been easy.
Canada blocked you, I think, at one point, yeah?
A lot of countries have blocked me.
Really?
I'm still struggling to get a visa actually to go to France, and hopefully I'll get it in a few days. And it's been very hard for Rohan as well this year because I had to struggle all the time with my visas, and I'm getting late for the tournaments for sometimes. But I think it's just not in my hands, so there's not much I can worry about it. It's just part of the process, and I have to deal with it. And definitely a partner who actually understands it makes it much easier for myself as well and for the team. And I've always thanked him to understand that point, and he understands it, so it makes things very easy for me as well.
I guess if it's any consolation, even the great Shah Rukh Khan got stopped at the airport.
No, well, I mean, being an Indian, I'm not saying it's easy for us. It's pretty much the same process. I mean, it's not easy, so I understand. For him, we're going through all the tough. It's not easy to get visas to countries, and unfortunately, for a lot of players, they don't understand that we need visas for every single country to wherever we go. So, it makes it much harder. We have to plan so much more in advance, and we have less time, especially in our respective countries, to try and apply for those visas. So sometimes, it gets caught up.
And it's difficult because you're representing your countries. It's not like you have a choice to take any other passports.
That's right, that's right. So we have, as you said, no other choice.
But I think now, from next year, now that we are top 10 in the world, it's going to make us a little bit easier to decide which tournaments to play.
Right.
And I'll definitely will be really prepared well for, to know which visas we need to get in the early part of the year.
It's a shame that politics getting in the way of sports.
Yeah, it is, but it's kind of tough. But I guess you just got to learn how to deal with it.
Just a sense of interest, of course, we had those terrible floods in Pakistan, and I wonder if there was any call on you. I know a lot of people rallied for that in India and in Pakistan. I wonder if there was any call on you to do something.
For me, to be honest, the whole US Open, the only motivation I had was to send some good news and positive news back home. I did go back home, and I think, inshallah, I'm going to try to play some exhibition matches also, either in Pakistan or in Dubai as well. Rohan has told me that he'll definitely help me out if I need his help, and if I want him to play to raise money for the flood victim, which is very, very nice of him. And inshallah, I've hardly had 15 days after US Open at home. Inshallah, the whole December I'll be in Pakistan. I'm going to do my level best to raise as many funds as possible for the flood victims, inshallah.
It's an interesting thought. It's funny, both India and Pakistan are cricket crazy. And here you are raising the level of tennis, which is has it been a challenge, considering how everyone plays cricket in India and in Pakistan?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm a big fan of the sport too. I mean, growing up from India, it's tough not to be a fan of the sport. But yes, it has been challenging for us. Thankfully for me, I mean, as you mentioned, there have been great players like from the Krishnans to the Amrit Rajas, from Pace, Bhupati. So it's been really good for us, for us coming up and playing tennis for those past years. But no doubt it still is a challenge, and with the help of Aisam, I can just try and promote that game and hopefully not let the sport die down.
Just an aside, it was interesting to note that in terms of who you looked up to from the tennis world from the past, Stefan Edberg is someone you both admired.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
didn't know that till this year actually. That we have one thing in common.
Why in particular Stefan Edberg?
Actually, when I was growing up, we only had one TV channel. That was Pakistan Television. And they only used to show Wimbledon semis and finals, 94, 95, 96. So at that time, Edberg was always playing against Boris Becker. Right. So I actually grew up watching him play, and then I moved to London for a few years, and I actually practiced with him as well at Queen's. And after meeting him and practicing with him, I definitely started idolizing him, and definitely became by far my favorite player ever.
For you, style was it?
Yeah, I mean the style definitely, and the same thing, the serve and volleying, and he was such an elegant player, and when he spoke also off court, you know, all his interviews, really a great person, so it just became a big favorite. And then plus being at home, my dad always liked Boris Becker, so so I thought I might as well put some rivalry there, and make it more interesting. So that's how it began, and then I was really a big fan of him.
Now I raised that horrible spectre as I went to the break with the could your prominence in the sport lead you to politics in the long run? And I saw you win. Say some. Well, I mean, Imran Khan did it. The cricketer did it. He went into politics.
Still trying to do it.
Yeah. Any interest ever to do that?
No, to be honest, not really big in politics. And so far, I've never even thought of being a politician. Definitely, whichever message I want to spread to the world or in Pakistan to Pakistanis, I think I'm going to do my level best to do it through sports. And I actually have never thought of being a politician. So I don't know.
Rohan, any ideas?
I'm definitely staying away from it. I'm happy doing what I'm doing right now, and I don't think I'll ever do well at politics, so I think I'd rather just stay away from it.
Well, I wish you both luck. It sounds you're both very sensible and level-headed, staying away from politics, no matter what happens to the tennis. Wish you a lot of luck with that. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
Thank you for being with us too. Remember, you can follow the show on Facebook and see what we're up to there. You can give us your feedback on the topics, post your questions and comments. On the next show, more than 1 billion people around the world don't have enough to eat, and yet an even greater number suffer from obesity. We'll examine the global control of food economy and how it could possibly be rebalanced. Be sure to tune in for that. From me and the team, we'll see you next time.